Good afternoon. Everybody can hear me? I think this is a very, very important day, certainly for Dr. Jim Adamson, Vice Chairman of NCR Financial Systems Group. I'd like to read as follows. Dr. Jim Adamson, described by Fortune magazine as an effervescent Scot, is Vice Chairman of NCR Financial Systems Group. He's one of the most respected figures of the Scottish electronics industry. Jim's strategic role within NCR FSG allows the company to make the full use, and has made the full use of Jim's extensive knowledge, and Jim told me at lunchtime, of almost 2 decades with NCR, almost 2 decades. His excellent customer relationships and his work with academia and government. Jim also chairs NCR's leadership development team, and he submitted proposals to our chairman, Lars Nyberg, last year. Of course, he's one of the longest-serving officers of the company. Jim joined NCR in 1980 as General Manager of Engineering and Manufacturing during his career in NCR. He really turned around NCR here in Dundee in the early 1980s, when Jim joined with something like 300 employees. And of course, each of you know how many employees we have in self-service now in 1998. And he rescued the business in the early 1980s throughout the period of the 1970s, which was, to each of you who hear them, extremely difficult. I'm very happy to say on behalf of Jim, the division is now one of the most successful businesses within NCR Corporation, and has his work, Jim's leadership, and us following, has resulted in our leadership in the self-service marketplace on a global basis. Jim began his career in the Navy as a technical officer. I hope I've got this right, Jim. After leaving the Navy, he had spent 20 years in the Scottish electronics industry. His experience includes management positions in Honeywell Corporation, Marconi Group, part of GEC in the UK, and as General Manager of ITT. Jim also holds an Honour Doctorate from Heriot-Watt University and has been awarded with an OBE for services to the electronics industry in Scotland and a CBE for services to manufacturing industry, again in Scotland. I think this testament to Jim strongly underlines the strong leadership that Jim displayed here for almost 2 decades within NCR Corporation. And our company would not be leadership in the self-service marketplace without strong leadership from Jim. So we all understand the language of customer focus. Before we had customer satisfaction measures or metrics, we had strong customer focus led by Jim in self-service. We all understood what our key customers were and what our key customers demanded. Jim also had a motto that crept across the whole of our organization. He used to say quite systematically, have fun and make money. And also for me personally, Jim taught me one strong message. It's possible to achieve the impossible. And I think a strong message for all of us is the testament to Jim's leadership in the period of the 1980s when NCR went through commercialization. And in 1985, the self-service business headquartered in Dayton, Ohio was closed, and the leadership was transferred from Dayton, Ohio to Dundee under Jim Adamson. So that's a fundamental change in the corporation of almost 100 years, a fundamental change from central bureaucracy in Dayton, Ohio to leadership within Dundee and Scotland, overseas. So I'd like to say formally, Jim, on behalf of the team, we owe you a tremendous amount of debt on behalf of NCR, on behalf of the City of Dundee, on behalf of the Scottish industry in electronics. So I have one more testament to say. Where's Andy Owen? Andy, I got an email from Mel Walters to strongly read the following message to Jim. So it reads, this is Mel speaking. It reads, Dear Jim, on behalf of the United States Self-Service Sales and Marketing Group, I would like to thank you for your contribution to our success and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavours. Many of us have thought back to 1983, when the ATM Vertical Business Unit was founded. There were very tough times that seemed like decades ago. We were in a market with less than 10% market share that was rapidly shrinking. 1983 might have been a shorter year if we had known that you and your team were back in Dundee, designing a new family of products that would catapult us to number 1 in the world by the end of the decade. So of all of us who were involved in 1984 designing and building 710 5070s, remember it extremely well. Jim's leadership at 7 a.m. in the morning was very, very visible, very strong, very focused. Your quantitative achievements are well documented and recognized by all. Our 1988 production plan of more than 50,000 units is in itself quite a legacy. But in the US, we will remember most your outstanding leadership, dedication and commitment to do for us whatever we asked, to ensure we maintained and retained our number one leadership in self-service. As I have travelled coast to coast in the US these past years, I've gained an even greater appreciation for the tremendous effort you put forth in the 1980s. Your personal presence at the plant, customer meetings, sales seminars and conferences was a true shot in the arm to all of us, frontline troops available. Many like myself owe their professional careers to you. Thanks to you, Jim, NCR Self-Service and a lot of very grateful people have come a long way since 1983. I was looking the other day at a picture of the 1983 original ATM sales force. I was very satisfied to see how many of these salespeople went on to highly successful careers, many making into management both in and out with NCR Corporation. Without your impact on our lives, these achievements would not have been realized. Thanks and good luck from all of us. Mel Walter. Jim, congratulations. So before I pass the voice box on, I'd like to say that formally that there are two present gifts, and I have to read my script to make sure I have the technical description of them, Jim, because they're for naval activities which I know nothing of. So it's the tide clock from the management team. I recognise that because I saw it earlier. And of course a compass from all of our employees. And more important, or as important, a video from all our employees. Thanks very much.
I'll just use this one then. Thank you all very much. It's a salutary lesson being this side of the fence. Usually when I'm standing here, I'm saying thanks to somebody else, and it's really good that so many of you have gathered here to wish me well in my new endeavours. I'm also very pleased to see my friends from Japan, and from the United States, and from Germany. So I know that we have an international business, and they're all represented here. You know, going back to 1980, this is not just a tribute to me. When I think of what you managed to achieve over the last nearly 20 years, it's really astounding. We're doing things back in the early 80s that the world has now only realized. They talk now about lifelong learning. We knew it as education for all. They talk about total quality. We knew it as our quality campaign. And just in time, we knew as early on a management grid that we'd adapted to try to learn what others had done before. Benchmarking was also something that we did, long before benchmarking became popular. So all of you have earned that. That's part of our legacy to NCR and our legacy to British industry. You've got an awful lot to be proud of, and an awful lot that you'll take with you when you find your turn to leave NCR. Fortunately, I'm not leaving to retire. I'm starting a new business. And my wife said, "You're not staying in my kitchen, so get the hell out." So I had to go and do something, so I'm starting a business as a company doctor. And all of the experience that I've learned here will be standing me in good stead. In fact, it's through that experience that most of the jobs will come my way. And it's a great pleasure to me to find how many people have been knocking at the door already, wanting the services. And this time, they're going to have to pay. Even I'm giving a lecture at Abertay University on Wednesday, and this will be the last free lecture, so I hope they're going to enjoy it too. To all of you, I want to say thank you very much. Oh, I see my Chinese colleague there too, Delton Young. Good, good. Hong Hei Pa Choi. It's very good to see so many people internationally present. I will be going away. It's a bit of a paradox when you leave something like this, because on the one hand, I'm delighted with the thought of starting a new business and all the excitement of doing something new and being my own boss, coming in when I want, going away when I want, no third quarter, second quarter reviews and these kind of things, deciding on to do what I want to do. But on the other hand, the other half of the paradox is that I'll be leaving so many friends behind, so many friends worldwide. the phone has never stopped ringing since I put out on the internet that I was leaving. And the phone calls have come from as far afield as South Africa and all of the United States and Canada and most of the rest of Europe, including Germany and France and Spain and Italy, all saying we need your services. So it's gratifying indeed. And I guess the lesson for me and the lesson for everybody else is the most important thing you've got is your reputation. And you have earned yours. So from me to you, thank you all very much, for every one of you, for what you did for me. And remember, everything that you've done, you're also doing for yourself. It's your reputation. Don't forget it. It's the most important thing you've got. Thank you all very much. Oh, let me just say one other thing. There is a wee bash tonight down at the Queen's Hotel, and you're all invited. And I'm paying.